afternoon, boys and girls, ladies and gerbils, cats and kittens, all you dogs and cats out there. We love you. We're happy you're here. Thank you so much for tuning into the best dang live stream on the internet. Take that, MSNBC or CNN or any of the ones that are owned by totally good organizations that want to tell you the truth. Today we are sitting down. We're going to talk about a bunch of news on the Refuge live stream, the Refuge Report, a time where we can sit down and really go over what's happening in this freaking place. But first things first, I want to give a shout out to Refuge Medical. Best dang first aid kits in the world. Believe it, a lot of good first aid kits. Everyone is talking about it. Honestly, guys, I don't know where I would be without their first aid kits. I don't know how I would feel safe and secure with the current happenings in the world. It's getting hot out there. It might get so hot that it's never been that hot except for locations like Hiroshima. So we'll see. We'll dive into it. We'll see what happened. We'll see what's going on. And we'll take a quick gander at what the world is saying about the current happenings. But first things first, shout out to everybody in the chat. We got Cloverleaf Physician in the chat. Shout out Yuppie Sniper. What a great dude. Hatch is here. Tina's here. Psalm 125 is here. Bubba's here. Miss Mitz is here. Hemi's here. Journey of John is here. Guys, share the stream. Share the show. This show is going to be so good, some might call it nuclear. Back too soon?
You just keep mentioning nuclear.
I'm sure it has nothing to do with what's going on. My 10-year-old goes to school, tells teacher dad, teaches me gas mask stuff. Teacher doubts, so 10-year-old goes back to school with his gas mask for show and tell. Now I'm getting phone calls from the school. Sounds like a super base dad and sounds like a super dope kid. I would hang out with both of them. So yeah.
Oh gosh.
Does that on-air sign work? It does. It's just not on right now.
I can either plug in the mini fridge over there or I can plug in the sign.
Yeah, we chose the mini fridge for obvious reasons, so that way we can snack.
Oh, it's got my salad in it.
It's got a salad in there. Dangerous Freedom, what's up? Tracy Clark, 7Heather7, Brett. Just want to let everybody know, good stuff, cool stuff to talk about today. We've got a couple of different things that we're going to discuss. We're going to end on the high note. We're going to end on the high note.
Well, are you going to tell them, why it's good they showed up today because of, the thing?
What thing? Oh, yeah. Oh, you mean the fact that we're doing a huge giveaway today?
Yeah.
Yeah, today we're going to be giving away a burn bucket. We're also going to be giving away a bottle of KIO3 and 3 of the Ranger Medic Handbook books themselves. I don't know where those went. They ran off somewhere. I found them.
They're on the shelf, yeah.
They're on the bookshelf. The books on the bookshelf. Who would do such a thing? So, books on the bookshelf. So you got the Ranger Medic Handbook. This is a great little piece of learning material. Everyone should have it in their library if you're interested in preparedness and preparedness medicine. It's a great opportunity for you to dive into what are the Ranger Medics carrying around in their hands in book form. No, it's very, very good book. So we got a bottle of KIO3. We're giving away a burn bucket and the 3 Ranger Medic handbooks. Bob, how do we get entered? Really easy. All you got to do is spend $99 in the store today. $99, get you entered in to win. Lauren's going to keep track of everybody. We're going to draw it at the end of the show. I am going to tell you why you might want this KIO3 and why you might want this burn bucket throughout the show today. So, spend the $99, get entered in to win. No big deal. Bless those winners, Brett Spencer said. Brett, get in there like swimwear. You got 5 different things that you could potentially win. You got the 3 Ranger Medic handbooks, the burn bucket, and the KIO3. So that's 5 opportunities. So 5 different people are going to win something today. That's pretty dang good. Bro, can I enter to win? Negative RM marketing. You cannot enter to win. Sorry, not sorry. She's like, dude, I really want that burn bucket. No.
She's like, wait a minute. That's actually on our list? So...
That's actually on our preparedness list. We need to get Steph-Does game up. I need these products. Winner, chicken dinner. You can do multiple entries, right? So if you spend $200, that's 2 entries. If you do multiple transactions, you can get multiple entries same way. Okay?
It pays to show up to the live streams. You
You-
just never know.
Yeah.
You're thinking they're probably going to give away the other 3 books. Psych.
No, psych! We're giving away a whole burn bucket and KIO3 and 3 Ranger Medic handbooks. All you got to do is spend $99 on the site during the live stream. Enter multiple tabs, open up a new tab, refugemedical.com, grab a first aid kit. You could grab a couple bleeding prevention kits and potentially win the last golden ticket as well, which then you could do like thousands of dollars worth of free training. So I don't mean to brag, a lot of opportunity. We love Refuge Nation. Thank you so much for showing up. We literally would not exist without you. You are the cat's pajamas. Wow, that's a massive giveaway, y'all. Yeah, it is. No big deal. We really think you might need this stuff.
We hope.
We hope you don't. So let's get into the news today. The U.S. Embassy in Ukraine's capital, Kiev, said that it's going to be closed moving forward. Received specific information of a potential significant air attack. Also, randomly, the Greek, Spanish, and Italian embassies have also shut down for security reasons. I'm sure that's nothing to do with anything. Completely unrelated, the White House is set to announce another support package for Ukraine. I know you guys were worried. Hey, are we sending another support package? Are we not sending another support package? I'm nervous. I really hope we do. Don't worry, they are. It's a little bit of a smaller one this time. Light, $275 million. That's a quarter of a billion. Thank goodness. I was worried that they weren't going to get the support they needed. Which obviously will include munitions for rocket systems, artillery, anti-tank weapons, all the good stuff that they need to continue to put the U.S. and the rest of NATO at risk for supplying such weapons. We're not going to talk about that today, don't worry. The United States has also approved sending anti-personnel mines to Ukraine for the first time, which is great. According to 2 U.S. officials, the major policy shift after it allowed Kiev to strike targets deep inside Russia with, ding, 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 American missiles. I'm sure that's not going to have any negative ramifications. I'm sure it's not going to have any negative ramifications. So, here's a quick outline of what's in the $275 million in new funding for Ukraine. Don't worry, it's very needed stuff. Much important. Ammunition for high mobility artillery rocket systems, right? So the HIMARS. Artillery ammunition, mortar rounds, unmanned aerial systems, aka drones, tube-launched, optically tracked, wire-guided missiles, also known as tow missiles. You got it. Those long-range missiles. Oh, this is awesome. Anti-armor systems, small arms and munitions, demolitions, equipment and munitions. Wait a second. Is this right? Chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear protective equipment. Well, that's interesting. Why would they need CBRN gear? That's weird. Why did they push this bill this quick? That's so interesting. And then spare parts, ancillary equipment, services. This is an important one. Training and transportation. So now the U.S. is not only supplying goods, but it's also supplying services to Ukraine in the fight against Russia. This is huge. Okay, and we're going to get into why this is so important.
Can we pause real quick, Bob?
Yep.
We had a couple people comment, like Carl, he ordered 15 minutes before the live stream.
Carl will count you.
And then Rhonda Holt said, ordered too soon today. Oh, well. So I'm just wondering, do we want to have any grace for...
We'll count you. We'll
Okay.
count you, Carl. We'll count you, Rhonda. Also, probably should add in another order. I'm late. Did you say something cool? Say something cool. Something cool. All right, so I think that's the last thing I wanted to read in this one here. Yeah, so very important stuff. The U.S. is supplying not only $275 million in material, but also in training. Yikes. Huge thing. All right. It's also important to note that this is the first time that the U.S. Embassy has closed since the invasion of 2022. This is a stark reflection of how the war is now escalating. For over 1,000 days, it's been a proxy fight between Washington and Moscow and Ukraine. But since the Biden administration is leading, leaving, it's now decided to allow Ukraine to use its missiles to strike inside Russia. It increasingly threatens to drag the United States and NATO in full.
Listen, he would never, ever, never want to make things as bad as they could possibly be before he leaves office. He wouldn't do that because he wants a peaceful transition.
Peaceful transition.
Remember?
He said it. They sat down. They said, I want a peaceful transition.
And he had this smile, they were really talking about how much he was smiling. A
lot of smiles.
A
lot of smiles. Peaceful transition. Goodness gracious. Okay, so the Kremlin and its messengers have long framed this war as Moscow against all of NATO, partially as an excuse for an appalling progress Russia has made compared to the weeks they initially hoped that it would need to take Kiev. But the rhetoric aside, it is unlikely Russia will hit the U.S. Embassy directly. That would be a severe escalation in the closing months of a White House soon to be replaced by a more sympathetic president-elect Donald Trump. Instead, it's important to note that allied NATO embassies have also limited or closed their services. Perhaps they fear being targeted. They're not closing these things with no intelligence. That's not happening, right? Moscow might inflict damage on a target where Westerners are known to congregate, a major hotel or district in the city. In truth, Kiev has endured over 2 months of intense and regular drone and missile attacks on a larger scale than before. It is possible that today and tonight, residents might take the regular sirens seriously. They have already been sirens for the 45-minute and 2.5-hour period so far today. Yet, American information so far in this war has proven quite reliable, which makes their sudden closure of a diplomatic facility a sign of escalation. Don't forget, Greece, Italy, and Spain all closed their embassies today. So, very important.
Hey, they can win the burn bucket and the KIO3, correct?
You can win the burn bucket, you can win the KIO3, you can also win a Ranger Medic handbook right here. All you got to do is enter in an order for $99 or more.
So are we doing multiple winners?
Multiple winners. Okay. 5 winners today. We want to spread the love. All right. It's also important to note that the hotline between Russia and U.S. is closed. There's no communication happening right now, which you hate to see, right? The hotline was set up to diffuse crises between the Kremlin and the White House, and it is not currently in use. We have between the two presidents, Russia and the U.S., a special secure line for communication. Asked whether the line is still in use, even for emergencies, Peskov from the Kremlin said no. Vladimir Putin's last phone call with his U.S. counterpart Joe Biden was on February 12th of 2022. Oof. Oof. No code word needed for the order. No code word needed for the order. All you got to do is put an order in, $99 or more, and we will grab those orders at that time. We'll set it in the spinning wheel of fun, and then we'll select our winners at the end. So let's hop into things that are totally not relevant to nuclear war and if it's going to happen. So Russian airborne nuclear war control plane is now circling Moscow. This is their mobile nuclear missile deploying aircraft command center. Oof, that's a mouthful. A Russian Air Force airborne command post is currently circling northeast of Moscow. The aircraft with ID RA64529 for all you flight trackers out there. Its function is similar to the USAF E-4B National Emergency Airborne Command Post. Before there was a Phoenix Raven program, there was the NEACP-SPs. I don't know what that means. I'm not an Air Force nerd. Beginning in 1979, the Air Force took delivery of a total of 4 E-4 designated aircraft. And it was the Take Charge and Move Out command planes, the Tacoma. Pictured, the plane is currently circling Moscow as seen on flight radar maps. And they have a little picture of the radar and how the flight is circling. So we have, in addition to that, mobile nuclear missile trucks are deploying. Russia's truck-mounted intercontinental nuclear missile trucks are now deploying out into the field. There's video of that happening as well. Russian strategic missile forces, invisible retaliation systems on duty. Russia's strategic missile forces are deploying advanced missile systems deep into the taiga. These stealthy systems are said to be undetectable and capable of launching retaliatory strikes to any point on the globe within minutes. A show of power from the Russian military. And their state-run television is showing how different EU capital cities would be affected by strikes. So they're running that on their television programs right now, run by state media, of what it would look like to strike different targets in relation to the EU and NATO. Russian state television broadcasts were filled yesterday with warnings that Ukraine's using Western supplied long-range missiles into Russia would result in European capital cities being nuked. One more time. Russia state-run television news broadcasts were filled yesterday with warnings that Ukraine using Western-supplied long-range missiles into Russia would result in European capital cities being nuked. Warsaw, Poland, Berlin, Germany, Paris, London, and of course Washington here in the United States were either shown on the visuals or mentioned. The Russians pointed out that it would take only 3 missiles to bring British civilization to an end. All of this trouble because the then U.S. president, this is just old history there, talking about Gorbachev. So, in relation to that, this is totally unrelated. Right? Ukraine fires first U.S.-made long-range missile into Russia. That's weird. Wait, hold on. What did it say? No, that's a threat.
That's not real.
Let me just flip back through this here. Surely there's an accident in my notes that the producer gave me. Russian state-run television news broadcasts were filled yesterday with warnings that Ukraine using Western-supplied long-range missiles into Russia would result in European capital cities being nuked.
When you say Western supplied, you don't mean like us.
Yes.
Oh.
I literally mean the Western world, standardly being the United States. Okay. And then Ukraine fires U.S.-made long-range missile into Russia for the first time. I'm sure these things are not correlated at all. Huh. Okay. Moving on. Ukraine hit a Russian's weapons arsenal with U.S.-made ATAC-MS missiles that it fired across the border for the first time, according to U.S. officials, in a major escalation on the 1,000th day of war. The attack comes just 2 days after the Biden administration gave Kiev the green light to use the longer-range weapon systems against targets inside of Russia. Interesting that Biden would be able to give another country a green light to use long-range weapon systems. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Russia's defense ministry said Ukraine fired 6 ballistic missiles at a facility in Bryansk at 3:25 a.m. local time Tuesday, and that the ATAC-MS missiles had been used in the attack. These are supplied through the United States. The attack marks the first time Ukraine has used the longer-range American weapons to strike targets deep inside Russia, and shows that Kiev has wasted little time in making use of its newly granted powers. This is important here. Ukrainian President Zelensky declined to comment and to confirm or deny the attack during a news conference on Tuesday, but said Ukraine has long-range capabilities. Ukraine has long-range drones of its own production. We now have a long Neptune, Ukrainian cruise missiles, and not just one. We now have ATAC-MS, and we will use all of this. Somebody needs to give this guy a class in de-escalation. Russian air defenses said they shot down 5 of the missiles, and another was damaged. Fragments from the damaged missiles fell on the territory of a military facility, causing a fire that has since been extinguished. There were no casualties or damage. On the same day of the attack, Russian President Vladimir Putin updated Russia's nuclear doctrine, where Moscow will consider aggression from any non-nuclear state, but with the participation of a nuclear country, a joint attack on Russia. In what appeared to be a fresh round of saber rattling, the Kremlin said Tuesday, the revised military doctrine would, in theory, lower the bar for the use of nuclear weapons. U.S. President Joe Biden had authorized Ukraine to use the longer-range American missiles inside of Russia on Sunday, ending a months-long prohibition aiming to help Ukraine defend itself while not drastically escalating the conflict. Failed. The decision came at a crucial moment in Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Russia is probing on the front lines in Ukraine's east while pummeling its cities with missile and drone strikes, aiming to disable Ukraine's power grid and weaponize the freezing temperatures for a third consecutive winter. Meanwhile, thousands of North Korean troops have been deployed to Russia's Kursk region, where Ukrainian troops launched a daring counteroffensive in the summer. In a press briefing Monday, U.S. State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller said that the involvement of North Korean troops in the war was a major escalation by Russia, bringing on an Asian military to a conflict inside of Europe. The decision to allow the use of the Army Tactical Missile Systems, or ATAC-MS, inside Russia has been under consideration for months, with the American officials divided on the wisdom of allowing the new capability. Some had concerns about escalating the war, while others were worried about dwindling stockpiles of the weapons, meaning we shouldn't be giving them this, it makes us a target, and we don't have a lot of them. Other Western allies remained more cautious. At the G20 summit in Brazil on Tuesday, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz reiterated his stance on withholding Taurus missiles from Ukraine, adding that supplying cruise missiles would be a fatal mistake. Although Kiev has repeatedly used Ukrainian-made drones to hit targets in Russia deeper into the country than Bryansk, Moscow has long maintained that using far-reaching Western weapons would constitute a major escalation. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, I don't know, I'm not Russian, said Tuesday that Moscow will view launches of U.S.-made longer-range missiles as a new phase of the war by the West. American officials said that they were unsurprised by the news of Putin updating Russia's nuclear doctrine. Russia has been signaling its intent to update its doctrine for several weeks. Pentagon Deputy Press Secretary Sabrina Singh said at a briefing that the U.S. doesn't have any indications that Russia is preparing to use a nuclear weapon within Ukraine, adding it's the same irresponsible rhetoric that we've seen before and that we've seen, frankly, for the past 2 years. Meanwhile, they are deploying tons of assets in their nuclear arsenal. Tons of assets.
We have we have new people jumping on, possibly. Can you go back over what we are giving away? Also, shop stuff. Please let me know what color Britt is going to hook it up for you.
Guys, we have huge nuclear threat going on right now with the conflict in Europe. Because of that, we're doing the giveaway today. Anybody who spends $99 at the store to get better prepared, you get entered in to win some KIO3 or a burn bucket, or we have a couple copies of the Ranger Medic Handbook right here. So these are all different capabilities that you can add to your arsenal to be more prepared for the increasingly volatile times that we live in, okay? I hate this type of news. This isn't fear-mongering. I'm trying to bring it to you honestly. This is from a plethora of different sources. Remember, we fear only the creator of the universe, the Most High God, Jesus the Christ, Yeshua the Messiah, who was and is and will always be.
Kermode. Gotta start doing not dead yet Fridays.
Yeah, not dead yet Fridays. An ATAC-MS missile is loaded onto the high-mobility rocket system in Queensland, Australia, and was shipped to the old Ukraine. Oh, goodness gracious. In more than a 2.5-year period of war, Russia has often rattled the nuclear saber in response to perceived escalation by Ukraine and its allies. After French President Emmanuel Macron, did I say that right?
I think there's the phlegm at the end. Really.
Macron. Gosh, I just wanted a crepe the second I said that immediately. Said earlier this year that he would not rule out sending European troops to Ukraine. Putin ordered a tactical nuclear weapons drill in response to what he called threats by the West. For months, Ukraine's President Zelensky had argued that long-range capabilities for our army is a key part of his victory plan for winning the war. Responding on Sunday evening to reports of Biden's green light, Zelensky said strikes are not carried out with words. Such things are not announced. Missiles will speak for themselves. It's great. It's awesome.
Living off grid. Bucket idea. Fallout bucket. Duct tape. Plastic drop cloth for covering windows. Iodine tablets. Emergency radiation suits and masks.
Oh gosh, I really don't want to have to make that. That's the worst. That's the worst.
I'm trying to get off early today so we can go build our bomb shelter, okay?
Oh, speaking of bomb shelters, I think this is a great point to bring up something else. Stand by me.
We had 200 people on here a minute ago. Way to go, guys. Smash that like button. Help us with Al Gore's rhythm.
Yeah, Al Gore's rhythm. Help us out. We're trying to beat Al Gore's rhythm here. 1 second. Let's pull this up.
How does a comedian have a war plan? He's got good jokes.
I'm sure that this is completely unrelated to everything, but Russia has now started the mass production of nuclear-resistant mobile bomb shelters. This is a day and a half ago. Russia has begun the serial production of mobile bomb shelters that can protect against a variety of threats, including shockwaves and radiation from a nuclear blast. The Emergency Ministries Research Institute said that the CUB-M shelter could offer protection for 48 hours against these other than natural and man-made hazards. Among those that were listed were explosions and shrapnel from conventional weapons, falling debris from buildings, dangerous chemicals, radiation, and fire. The CUB-M looks like a reinforced shipping container and consists of 2 modules, a room for 54 people, and a technical block. More modules can be added if needed. It did not link the move to any current crisis.
Of course not.
Come on.
Hey, can we get that off of Temu, do you think?
I think we could definitely get one off of Temu.
I'm just thinking like maybe the shipping might be a little...
Hello, you like the nuclear bomb?
Yes.
We make a nuclear bomb shelter for you. It did not link the move to any current crisis. I'm sorry. Though the announcement came days after the administration of U.S. President Joe Biden agreed to allow Ukraine to fire U.S. long-range missiles deep into Russia. A decision that the Kremlin said was reckless and would draw a response from Moscow. President Vladimir Putin on Tuesday approved a new official doctrine that lowered Russia's threshold for using nuclear weapons. The mobile shelter is a multifunctional structure that provides protection for people from various threats, including natural disasters and man-made accidents. It is an important step towards improving the safety of citizens in these current times. It can easily be transported on a truck and connected to water supplies, and can also be deployed in Russia's vast northern permafrost. There's a large concern about these structures being deployed onto the front lines for troops. They have not confirmed this, but that's what a lot of strategists are currently talking about, is that Russia is going to mass produce these, and they're flying through production of them currently, and they're going to push them out to the front lines, have 50 or so troops be able to move into there, drop the weapon, wait 48 hours, and then move on with CBRN-capable equipment. This is huge news that Russia is obviously mobilizing. It is obvious. It is overtly apparent. And you might be thinking, oh, it's okay, the U.S. isn't worried about this. I turn your attention to Operation Dragon Spear. More than 800 participants from industry, academia, military, and government laboratories are taking part in U.S. SOCOM's chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear defense research and development acquisition experiment, Dragon Spear, in Perry, Georgia, with over 150 registered tech partners. Special Operation Forces demonstrated how they detect, identify, and mitigate countering weapons of mass destruction threats to evacuate casualties in an operational scenario, and displayed how they are prepared to fight through CBRN threat environments to protect soft forces. Dragon Spear enables modular joint soft, conventional, multinational, and interagency partners to provide warfighters and combatant commanders with tailorable options to protect, fight, and win in CBRN contested environments through experimentation. Now, what that is a bunch of jargon for war games. US SOCOM is currently wargaming with not just the military, but also the private sector on how to best handle CBRN threats. So the US might be downplaying this, but the outward appearance is that we are also spinning up our capabilities, especially with the military and inside of special operations. This is huge. Because the timing is everything. So if you would pay attention with me, right? Timing is everything. With Russia mobilizing, the transition of power to Donald Trump, if they're going to make a play, they have to make that play before Donald Trump, because he will not participate in this nonsense party. He's said it multiple times. The war would be over in 48 hours, is what he said. At times, he was quoted at 24 hours. And so, this could be a last-scale push to give Ukraine everything that America's got to shove us into a conflict that then Donald Trump would have to inherit, if there was something to inherit.
Oh my gosh. You know what I just remembered? This is so super duper important. As of today, in fact, I think Patreon found out about it first, but we have a sale page because a whole bunch of stuff went on sale today. so they can get even more things for the $99.
Oh, dude, that's a great point.
Yeah.
Go to the sale page at refugemedical.com, and that's what you should use to get your $99 to get entered in to win the free burn bucket or the KIO3 or the Ranger Medic handbook, because we put a bunch of stuff on sale. We're coming up towards the end of the year, so we try to decrease our inventory. We do this every year. This is not like some sales tactic. It's honestly just us cleaning house to bring in new components next year. It's all great gear, obviously.
Thank you, Cal. I was trying to get that link.
Has anyone
Much
asked what
faster
your
than
favorite polymer frame striker filed pistol is yet? No, no one has. Thank you for asking. It's the one that goes bang consistently. So I bring this all up because we have a large threat to not just the U.S., but Russia is also bolstering against the entirety of the EU, against Poland, against Germany, against Britain. It's said live on the television in Russia that Britain would be wiped out with 3 missiles. That's crazy rhetoric to be sharing at this current time, directly after Ukraine has employed long-range missile systems that was gifted to them by the United States. You might be saying, oh, well, they purchased it from the United States. No, they didn't purchase anything. You paid for that. I paid for that. This is all bad. This is not a good situation whatsoever, which is why we're giving away the burn bucket, which is why we tell individuals to be prepared, have food storage, have water storage, have emergency plans, get out of the major complexes, the major cities, get into rural America.
If you don't have water storage, like that should be one of your number one things is water storage.
Water is life, dude. Water is life. Even if it's a pond and a plan to filter it, that's something. You know, seriously, water is life.
Oh,
Military
I don't know, Bob. How is that live save tally board?
It's going really good. It's going really good. Thank you so much for asking. Military-industrial complex has to make a few bucks last minute. That totally could be it. There could be a bigger plan at play here. It's realistically possible that because of a monetary reset seemingly inbound, given the huge deficit that the United States operates in, that we're just going to get rid of as much as possible, go fully bankrupt, and then have to reset afterwards. Besides the nuclear piece of all of this, we should be concerned of the armed drones that is being used in Gaza and Russia. Reports of New Jersey citizens recording many drones at night being seen 11/18. Yes, that's a great point. Drones are very affordable. They're easy to learn how to fly, and they're easy to modify. And so all of us should be actively thinking about signals intelligence and electronic capability in our own life. What around us gives off signals, what around us is dangerous, how do we mitigate against these threats, what can we do to build fortified positions against drone warfare. This is very real stuff. It is unfortunate, but the future is now. I mean, dude, this is the Industrial Revolution and its consequences. Everybody wants to have awesome VR technology until VR technology is attacking you from 100 miles away.
It's like, you know, you see the movies where they're showing you like the robots turning on the people. They show you the movies where everybody gets stuck like being obsessed with a virtual reality world, and then there's people like actually dying over that kind of stuff. And then we're like, you know what? The movies were so great. Let's make it in real life.
Yeah, let's make it in real life. Scott Thorpe brought up a great point. Most countries in Europe would be neutralized with just one ICBM in the upper atmosphere. Yeah, and I think that that's something that maybe a majority of Americans have a disconnect to, is the size of the U.S. versus the size of Europe. We are very large. Europe is very tight together. And so it takes less of a capability in terms of ICBM for neutralization than it does with the United States. That being said, we do not want the threat to go to this level. It is a no-win scenario. It is a 0-0 win scenario. It is the worst. That being said, we build plans of preparedness rather than plans of reaction. So a plan to improvise is a plan to fail. So that's why you got to get your gear now. And you can get it from us. You can get it from other locations. I don't care. Just get your house in order. Make sure that you have the proper things. Think about your neighbors. Think about the people around you who could potentially be exposed or harmed in a threat like this. Yeah, Terminator should not be a documentary. I vote the Terminator not become a documentary, but dang.
Have you seen the meme that's like John Connor, and it's like the kid from the movie looking at him, he's like, watching you become friends with ChatGPT.
Yeah, dude, it's the worst. It's the worst. Just the grid down from the EMP. Yeah, just the grid down scenarios. I mean, DOD did a report inside of the United States, I think it was 2012, 2016, something around there, to where they said 90% of Americans would be dead in the first 6 months. That's ridiculous.
Listen, I'm from Texas, and right before we moved, we had that 2020 ice apocalypse, and a lot of people were without power, and they were from Texas, so they had no idea how to, like, keep themselves warm and not die. And people were literally dying from freezing to death because there was no electricity.
In Texas.
Winter is coming.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
So, like, prepare. You need to know how to keep yourself warm. You need to have, like, emergency blankets, have water storage, have food.
Yeah, we did launch the new wool blanket and the emergency blanket. Those are great little pieces of kit that you should add to your EDC inside of the vehicle. Definitely an awesome capability to be able to keep warm. This is like basic dude stuff. The public schools have indoctrinated us to think that somebody's always going to like fly to our rescue as if they're Superman. That doesn't exist. We have to have our own capability. No one is coming to save you. I say it again. No one is coming to save you. You are your rescue team. So your capabilities is the capability presented for you. All right. Correct. Everyone loses in a nuclear war except the machines. Yeah, we'll just have like microwaves and robots talking to each other, trying to work an oven that they can't even use because they don't eat food. So thank God you have a Bluetooth oven. Everything is better now. This is great. I do want to let everyone know, for the people that just showed up, $99 or more in the store gets you entered into win a burn bucket or KIO3 or Ranger Medic Handbook. We will spin the wheel at the end of the stream, giving you guys the opportunity to take home some goodies. Don't worry, you're not just gambling. You get first aid gear for the $99. This isn't, we just like to reward people for interacting on the stream. We like to bring people into this.
And we have stuff on the sale tab right now, so you can get it for even cheaper and get more things for your money and get entered into win.
Got my order for the things we needed more of for our stock. That's awesome, Jessica. Great job. Great job. What up, Waffles, you beautiful human? We freaking love you, bro. You're gorgeous. Tell your dog I said hi. All the machines, the best machines. A lot of people say we have the best machines. China doesn't have the best machines. They think they do. They don't. So really quick before we move on to the next topic, we're going to look through the chat, make sure I'm not missing anything here. Bob's honesty and passion is real. People need to wake up to how fragile their way of life is and how hard it can quickly become. Whatever happens, calm is contagious. The reason that I'm so passionate about this is I've been blessed to be able to deploy with Grindstone Ministries to where natural disasters happen without some sort of kinetic force or some external factor, and that is hard enough. Mm-hmm. So when we're talking about these types of things like open conflict or, some sort of missile crisis, anything in that regard, my heart drops, my stomach sinks because we are woefully underprepared. Woefully. Yeah. During the Cuban Missile Crisis, we did drills as an entire nation as to what we would do. We don't do that now.
No.
And we are so much further than the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Not to mention the fact that, like, so many in our population has become, like, soft. The men are not. I mean, we have men who are still men,
just a little
but now
soft.
we have men who are no longer men. If you know what I'm saying.
They're still men.
I mean, they're technically still men.
They're literally still men.
They're not acting like it.
Yeah, you have an Adam's apple, lady. Okay, so Bob, where should I go since Biden spends Thanksgiving a few miles from me? Somewhere else. Somewhere else, not there. I would not hang out with Biden on Thanksgiving. He might sniff you. That'd be very weird. Unless you're, an adult male, in which he will not be interested, or an adult female, he will not be interested. But if you have children, be careful.
Rhonda Miller asked if we've ever read the book 1 Second After.
Yes,
or
Annie.
After, no, 1 Second After.
Yeah, who is that? The Annie one? Annie, what's her name?
There's like 3 in the series apparently. Jason Bradley said there was 3.
Yes, I have not read the book. I've read the Cliff Notes, and I've watched I'm pretty sure that's Annie Jacobson or something like that. I watched her Sean Ryan show. It was the single scariest thing that I've ever seen ever. I was like, oh my god, this is the worst. Literally no one wins
No
in a
one.
nuclear war.
No one.
No one. The only people that survive are those who are extremely prepared for it.
Yeah.
That's it. And cockroaches. Cockroaches make it. Ovens make it. Microwaves make it. And the extremely prepared make it. Maybe.
So Pippi, I don't know what that is.
Pippi Bebo.
Most people don't realize how much they can lose in a mere minute. Everything you have is security. You think you have poof. Like, think about the fact that Hurricane Helene, that was water.
Yep.
That was just water, and it literally wiped out everything.
Yeah. That's crazy to think about. In all reality, just rain itself took away homes. Imagine what fire and shockwave can do. It's truly sobering to think about. Plate carriers should be here today. Shout out. Plate carriers are shipping. For those of you who have ordered the plate carriers, they're going out in the mail. Mike's been shipping Coyote plate carriers like it's his job. It's his job. But he's doing a great job. Thank you guys so much for your patience. We wanted to make sure it was the best product possible. It's not because we were dragging feet or, messing around over here or having too much fun in the show shop. It's simply because we want to give you guys the best product possible. Our government doesn't want us prepared. There's a good argument for that. There's a good argument for the fact that the government does not want you prepared. They often censor or silence individuals or groups of individuals that are trying to give the ability of preparedness to the people, especially if they're doing it for free, right? They don't like that. They never do.
Cal got the names up there. Annie Jacobson's book is Nuclear War, and the 1 second after is by William R. Forstchen.
Yeah, so the Annie Jacobson book is that's the one I've read the Cliff Notes on. It was very compelling, and then I watched her 3-hour interview on Sean Ryan. Unbelievably sobering. The amount of data that she brings to the table, the interviews that she's had, the people that she's talked to, and the information that she gave for free to the American people is sobering.
Just remember something.
What did you just
Ethan
remember?
and I watched this movie called, I can't remember what it was called. It had Chris Hemsworth's wife in it. And the whole premise of this movie is that she was stopping someone from attacking this. It was in the middle of the sea. It was like one of the 3 places where they control the nuclear weapons. Okay? Turns out, guess what country it was that was backing the guy attacking this place?
Russia.
Russia.
Oh, weird.
Super
Programming.
weird.
Programming. Is the new thermal blanket and wool blanket HSA approved? It would be an argument. You could probably win it, but it would be an argument. Yeah, it would depend on which HSA you have. I bet you a couple HSAs would be like, yeah, no problem, that's medical components. But you'd have to justify it well, like it's anti-hypothermia kit.
John Jones, I don't know the answer to that question.
Will cooked canned hamburger last 4.5 years? I think it really depends on how you can it.
Yeah, that's a long time for meat, though. Patty, if you're still on here, please answer that question.
Zane said he's hyped for the plate carrier. Remember, it's continuity of government, not continuity of we the people. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point, the one toe cutter, Nick. It is not the continuity of we the people. It is not the continuity of the populace. It is not the continuity of the population. It is the continuity of government plan. And they've been doing continuity of government plans since November 1st. So November 1st, they started doing massive drills in the White House and at the State House, and at the, what's the one that they attacked? Why can't I remember it? The Capitol. That's what it is. And at the Capitol, just to ensure that they could evacuate all their needed leaders. And they're flying in Blackhawks and all this stuff. Very, very crazy stuff. And so nobody did that for your neighborhood. Nobody did continuity of people plans. So something to think about there. Should I rewind to see what's up, or is it a big nothing burger? No, Victory, you should definitely rewind to see what's up. You should definitely rewind to see what's up. There is good data that Russia is fully mobilizing for nuclear conflict. And I will bring some of these points back up, guys, for those who think that I'm joking around, because I'm not joking around. I'm not. Make sure here. All these dang papers. got to be here. Oh, yes. So, the Russian Air Force Airborne Command Post is currently circling northeast of Moscow. The plane is presently circling Moscow as seen on the flight radar map. So, we are tracking their nuclear command aircraft right now, or at least one of them currently. It is circling. It is in the air. Russia's truck-mounted intercontinental nuclear missile trucks are now deploying out into the field. Russian strategic missile forces, invisible retaliation systems, are on duty. Russia's strategic missile forces are deploying advanced missile systems deep into the taiga. These stealthy systems are said to be undetectable and capable of launching retaliatory strikes to any point on the globe within minutes. It is now a full show of power from the Russian military. State-run television shows EU capital cities being nuked. Russian state-run television news broadcasts were filled yesterday with warnings that Ukraine, using Western-supplied long-range missiles into Russia, would result in European capital cities being nuked. Warsaw, Poland, Berlin, Germany, Paris, France, London, England, and Washington, D.C., here in the United States, were either shown on the visuals or mentioned outright. The Russians point out that it would only take 3 missiles to bring British civilization to an end. All of this trouble because of the Clinton-Gorbachev issue, right? You know, NATO will not move 1 inch eastward. And then Clinton signed on expanding NATO. Great work. And you might be thinking, oh, well, that's okay. They're just, preparing in case, Ukraine fires long-range missiles. Oh, well, Ukraine fires U.S.-made longer-range missiles into Russia for the first time. Ukraine hit a Russian's arsenal with U.S.-made ATACMS missiles that it fired across the border for the first time, according to 2 U.S. officials, in a major escalation on the 1,000th day of war. Biden gave the green light 2 days ago to use the longer-range American weapons against targets inside of Russia, right? Don't worry, the U.S. also just set aside $257 million for long-range weapon systems, long-range artillery, support systems, training. It is not a good picture that the U.S. is currently painting for Russia, which is why we are doing a giveaway today. We're doing a giveaway. Anybody who spends $99 is getting entered into this giveaway to win either a burn bucket or KIO3 or a Ranger Medic handbook. Also, you get $99 worth of gear from Refuge, which is awesome.
The needy homesteader is in the house. And she said after 3 years, any home canned food starts to degrade, lose nutrients, discolor, etc. That beef will stay good as long as the seal of that lid is good, but the quality won't be as enjoyable. So you can still eat it, but honestly, if you're in SHTF, who cares what it tastes like?
Yeah.
It's got to have nutrients.
Yeah, Matthew Gaza, that's a great way to go ahead and filter out what aircrafts are flying. Go to ADSB Exchange. Blech. Back in the 80s, the USA built a lot of delivery vehicles with no warheads. The Soviets, not realizing there were no weapons, bankrupted themselves, matching the U.S. weapon for weapon. Yeah. So now we had like 1,000 fakes, and they built 1,000 real ones, and now they just have 1,000 real ones. I don't know. Those numbers are arbitrary. I'm just saying numbers. This is extremely pertinent information. This is happening now. They closed the embassy in the U.S. They haven't done that since the beginning of the war. Greece, Italy, and Spain closed their embassy in Kiev. All of them closing the embassies in Kiev. They are expecting an attack. This is very pertinent information. And it's not just saber rattling, because Russia is spending even more money currently developing nuclear fallout shelters in expediency to deploy not just to their citizens, but to their front lines. They're turning the freaking frogs gay. Listen to me.
They're turning the frogs gay.
They're turning the freaking frogs gay. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
Guys, if you're going to get the order in, try to do it in the next 10 minutes-ish. We've got 19 people entered so far.
I don't know how many precisely. No need to know on my part. Yeah, I don't even want to know. I don't want to know how many they have. Why would I need that? I would just not sleep tonight. I might not sleep tonight regardless.
I let Heath be the one who knows the things. I let him, what I call it is he knows the macro, I know the micro.
Yeah.
Because that's all I need to know about.
Right. Okay. We're going to continue on here. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Do you sell any EDC bags or backpacks for my bear fac? I don't, but what we do sell is EDC first aid kits. If you're not always trying to carry a backpack or like a sling bag or something like that, the Slick kit is one of the promos right now. So that's like a small vacuum sealed kit that goes in the back pocket, full little blowout kit. Add it with a tourniquet and you have a ton of capability. That can be super easily carried in anything, in a cargo pocket, a back pocket, even throw it in a bag or something like that. Or the ankle kit or anything like that. That would be a really good solution for you. So that way you don't have to carry a backpack everywhere you go. Likelihood of leaving the backpack somewhere, pretty dang high. Likelihood of leaving your pocket somewhere, a little bit lower. A little bit lower. James Gingrich is here. I love that dude. Do we need to have anything by special to be entered or just ordered? Just $99 or more, brother. Just $99 or more. 50-50, we get blasted. I don't like those odds. I don't like those odds. That's bad odds. That's bad odds.
No Messiah, okay?
Yeah, checking flight radar shows a massive military movement all over the United States. Yeah, we have nuke sniffers on both of our coasts right now. This is huge. This is huge. And the major media is not talking about it. And it is a problem.
The movie that I was just talking about, I just remembered this detail. What it was is it was the defense places. So it was where the U.S. kept their rockets to shoot down nuclear missiles. Or to like shoot down missiles.
Yeah, the air defense.
And the Russians were taking it over so that we couldn't shoot them down. Crazy stuff.
I need the Ranger Medical Handbook. Then you need to place an order for $99 or more, and you get entered in to win.
Shannon entered last week.
Those tourniquets are so much better than an improv. Every tourniquet is better than an improvised tourniquet.
You know what I had someone like going back and forth with me about on
what?
Facebook?
Tell me. What were they Facebooking
They
about?
were like, there's no time to search for a tourniquet. You just use a blood pressure cuff. A manual blood pressure cuff. And I was like, okay, that's just not going to work the way you think it is. It was like, yeah, well, I had 2 commercial tourniquets fail and the blood pressure cuff worked. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm glad it worked in that situation. Were they counterfeit tourniquets? Because that could maybe be real. But in what world is it easier for you to just you're gonna EDC your manual blood pressure cuff?
I pull out a manual blood pressure cuff. Here, get rid of that cat tourniquet. Use this.
Oh my god. That's not quite tampon level, but yeah, no, it is.
I mean, that's up there. That's up there with
It's up
tampon
there.
level nonsense right there. That's ridiculousness. Blood pressure
If
cuff.
you
Get
got-
out of here. Get out of here with that nonsense.
If you got to go to the webinar, you got to see Bob for the first time open up a tampon and realize just how little gauze was inside of it, and his reaction was genuine.
I never opened up a tampon before, if you can believe it.
But guys, if you did go to the webinar, because I've had a few comments on here, people saying how much they loved it. If you got the email, please go and give us a review on that. We want people to know how much they can learn and how awesome that is, because we are going to start trying to offer it more often and other subjects. So if you loved it, even if you didn't, we need to know. We want to know how we can improve. So make sure to head over to the website on the training, on the webinar, and write a review for us. We would really appreciate it.
Somebody asked $200 equals 2 entries. That's right, Logan. $200 equals 2 entries.
$200, 2 separate orders, right? Or is
No,
it...
you can do it 1 order.
Oh,
That's
no,
fine.
Okay, hold on. Now I got to go back and add people's names more than once.
That's right. The webinar was fantastic. Hey, thank you, Needy Homesteader. I had someone hand me a good cat tourniquet because he can just use a belt. I told him, no, your belt won't work. Just keep the tourniquet. Smart. Super duper smart. Old style tampons had more cotton gauze. These new things are smaller. I wouldn't know. These newfangled tampons with less gauze. Unbelievable. It's probably because there's anticoagulants inside of tampons now. I don't know. Blech. Not my jam. Not my expertise. Don't pretend to know anything about female hygiene products at all. Oh, that's why Timmy put in the boys' bathroom. Put it in the boys' bathroom. I don't even know what that means. Saw 3 fighters headed northwest over Albany, New York, toward Fort Dunn. Yeah, see, and there's been a lot of activity with not just Blackhawks, but Chinooks, which is interesting, like transpo of either materials or people. So that's interesting as well. Bob, you need to leave the tampons alone, but no one needs to know. Yeah, I do. You and crew did a phenomenal job. I learned so much. I have 4 tourniquets. That's awesome. I missed the webinar. I plan to try for the next one. Yeah, definitely try for the next webinar. It's an awesome opportunity to get some knowledge. It's pretty dang affordable. It's a good little date night. If you guys want to do like a private webinar for your church or for your mag or for your homies or whatever it is, just reach out to Bob at refugemedical.com. We'll get it set up. I'll price it accordingly and make sure that it's affordable for you guys. Just grab myself a second slick kit for the medic bag. Smart. Very, very smart. Oh, Tim Walls. I'm tracking now. I get it. Okay, so before we move into the next story about Robert Kennedy Jr., I just want to mention again, $99 or more get you entered in to win either the Burn Bucket, the KIO3, or the 3 Ranger Medic Handbooks. So with that, let's talk about our new, Director of Department of Health being swole and natural and all that stuff. The man, the myth, the legend. They tried to kill his family. They haven't been able to do it. He sounds like he has something in his throat because I think he had some disease or something.
I think he was injured by a vaccine or something.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was, like, injured by a vaccine. So he definitely doesn't have any vendettas against that.
Part of why he's, like, people always say, like, oh, you just don't know. You don't know what's real when it comes to government stuff. But, like, he has been He's been a voice
for a while now.
Like, information, people.
And he's in shape.
Yeah.
I'm like more in,
And you know what? He's a man that dresses like a man.
Yep.
Because currently we have a woman.
No. Nope.
We have a
It's a dude.
Man with glasses and long hair, and she's fat. So.
Yeah. So, President-elect Donald Trump has named Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as his choice for the next Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services. The HHS Secretary is a cabinet-level position and thus has to be nominated and confirmed by the Senate. But the announcement potentially sets the stage for Kennedy to lead a wide array of agencies, including the FDA, from which he said he would cut entire departments. Just slash that meme of Ron Swanson, slash it.
Oh, but do you really think? Guys, think about this. It's 2 wings to the same bird. So when you're thinking about the Senate and the House, this is a bunch of dudes that are all in politics, who are all getting paid by somebody. So do you think they're gonna let that happen? Maybe he gets in there. Maybe this is when we turn a page.
Maybe,
you know?
maybe golden era. We're entering it.
That'd be crazy.
Right after the nukes, golden era. You know? All right, so Trump made the announcement in a Truth Social post Thursday afternoon saying that Americans have been crushed by the industrial food complex and drug companies who have engaged in deception, misinformation, and disinformation. He added that Kennedy will ensure everybody will be protected from harmful chemicals, pollutants, pesticides, pharmaceutical products, and food additives that have contributed to the overwhelming health crisis in this country, and reiterated Kennedy's Make America Healthy Again slogan. Trump has previously said that he would allow Kennedy to go wild in his appointed position and do pretty much what he wants. But what would an RFK Jr.-led HHS actually mean for the American people? Here's what to know about what the former presidential candidate's ideas about health and what experts make of them. So, decades of anti-vaccine activism. Kennedy is taking now a softer stance, probably because he's going into the position. Kennedy told MSNBC on November 6th that he has never been anti-vaccine, but his track record suggests otherwise. He took a position in 2015 as a chairman of an organization called the Children's Health Defense, which he puts vaccines as its first concern on its website. The organization questions the health, safety, and efficacy of a childhood vaccine and has filed lawsuits claiming that children have been harmed by immunizations, because they have. Kennedy has also amplified false claims that vaccines cause autism and is deemed one of the disinformation dozen responsible for spreading 65% of false claims about shots online.
Wait, so you're telling me, okay, Oh, yes, exactly. It's like when they said the COVID shot was safe, and now...
Whoa!
Wait.
It's totally safe and
It is
effective.
totally safe.
It's totally safe and effective.
There's no states that
It's
are
totally
now,
safe and effective.
There are no states that are now suing
Oh yeah.
Pfizer and some other people because of the health ramifications that
In
have
one
happened.
of the congressional hearings, they just proved colon cancer with a direct link to that product.
What about the freaking blood clots in
Oh,
people's
dude.
hearts? That would never happen though because it's safe. It's fine. We're fine. It's all fine.
He now insists that he's not going to take away anybody's vaccines and wants to make sure that the scientific safety studies and efficacy studies are out there and that people can make individual assessments about whether that product is going to be good for them. Oh, like give you the information and the choice to do it. This personal choice approach may sound benign, but it doesn't work particularly well when applied to infectious diseases. Boo. Hold on. Oh, Kennedy on fluoride. According to the most recent available data for the Center of Disease Control and Health Prevention, about 63% of the U.S. population received fluoride in their drinking water in 2022. Fluoride is a mineral that occurs naturally in certain foods and helps promote strong bones and teeth. Boo. Dentists treat teeth with fluoride, and the mineral is found in most toothpastes. In addition to drinking water, it is credited with reducing cavity rates by between 25 and 35%. Lauren, can you smell that? Lauren can smell a cavity. So days before the election, Kennedy repeated unproven claims, they're pretty proven, that fluoride is an industrial waste associated with arthritis, bone fractures, bone cancer, IQ loss, neurodevelopmental disorders, and thyroid disease. Proven. Just good data out there proving those things. And he said that on January 20th, the Trump White House will advise all U.S. water systems to remove fluoride from public water. Based. Super based.
That alone will be crazy.
Kennedy is concerned about food dyes and additives. It's no coincidence that Americans die earlier than Canadians or Germans or Japanese or Koreans or Australians or many other comparable countries, citing rising rates in obesity and cancer. To be clear, there's no evidence that supports food dyes or additives on their own are deadly to cause cancer. Yeah, but when you put it with a bunch of sugar and refined grains, good grief. So he is going after the fact that the nutritional department is not protecting our kids. Why do we have Fruit Loops in this country that contain 18 or 19 ingredients? And you go up to Canada and there are 3. And of course, employing these policies will be up to the states. Well, what do you guys think? You guys think this is good news, bad news? You guys want Kennedy to make America healthy again? Do you guys agree with this? They're turning the freaking frogs gay. There's atrazine. I mean, fluoride. I mean, whatever. You get it. All right. Let me see. What's this comment section? Gus Wolf, turn the frogs gay.
Sorry, I'm sitting here putting people's names in.
I don't want daddy government telling me I can't have a smoke, a shot of whiskey, or a nice gooey cheeseburger. I know it's not good for me, but I want to be able to make that choice for myself. Absolutely, Jason. I agree. You should be able to make that choice, but you also shouldn't have that choice thrust upon you. You should have other options as well, and the other options shouldn't cost 60% more, so that way I don't die of a heart attack because there was nothing else in grocery stores, and the FDA is standing up huge conglomerates to further produce poisonous foods.
While they print meat.
That's redonkulous, bro. You can also go buy a gun, but you shouldn't be forced to buy a gun. But you should be able to buy, or told you couldn't buy a gun. Haven't had a cavity since I switched to fluoride free. Just saying. Yep. Eat meat based. Whoever said that. Gus Wolf. Bob, repeat after me. It's nuclear, not nuclear. I don't know. I'm from Chicago. I have a weird dialect. I'm sorry. I've been in a water treatment plant. The room full of fluoride is very ominous with the skull and crossbones everywhere. Oof. We also call our dollar the loonie, so we might not be the best lighthouse on the topic. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Fluoride affects teeth too. Ask me how I know there is such a thing as fluoride poisoning. Yeah, there's absolutely. It's why they tell you not to swallow your toothpaste. I want American to make America healthy again, banding together, putting aside propaganda, and loving their neighbors as thyself. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, so I think there definitely could be some good things, at least presenting Americans with better opportunities to get information, having less censorship, having less misinformation. You know, you can't, they literally changed the food pyramid, guys. Like, you can't change the food pyramid. You can't tell somebody that they need that much grains. We're not cattle. Like, they put meat at the top of the food pyramid. They're like, meat bad. We're literally, like, that's not true. Cautiously excited for what could happen, but wonder if we'll gain trust and push individualized healthcare via technology implants down the road. Definitely possible with the support of Elon Musk. Don't really trust him, but what he's been talking about is important and truthful. Regardless of intentions, just the fact that some of his information is getting out there is hugely beneficial. Great point, Tad. Great point. I only trust him for the fact that every time a Kennedy has gotten to power, they kill him. Like, every time. So makes me think that they're on there. Bug Out Bob, do you EDC a bag? What bag? I do EDC a bag. I mean, I have a couple bags in my truck. Usually I have a Condition 1 like backpack that I run, and I have like my everyday stuff in there, a little bit of medical, a little bit of like get home stuff. But I'm in a much different part of the country. Like, for me to get home would be pretty easy, to be honest. Like, there's like probably 200 people from me to my house, if that. And I just EDC my tools in Freedom, America. Pop-Tarts aren't the base of the pyramid? How dare you? What's up, Wrenches?
Wrenches will be here this weekend.
RFK spoke out in 2020 and hasn't slowed down, so yeah, I trust him in that capacity for sure, but I really want to see him go after the deep state. Yeah, everybody wants to see them go after the deep state. That's the best way to do it. That's where it's at. Except for Ted Kennedy. Apparently wasn't worth a bullet. Yeah, interesting, right? Okay, guys, I'm going to do another reminder here.
Oh my gosh.
We got one more story, or two more stories after this. So, $99 gets you entered in to win a free burn bucket, or a pack of KIO3, or Ranger Medic handbook, or a high five and hug from me. Just kidding. I'm not driving to you to give you a high five and a hug. I'll do it, via the ether. I'll put it in the air. So $99 in the store, get you automatically entered. Yes to beef bacon. Beef bacon is fire, as the kids say. I literally have not met a piece of beef bacon that I did not love. Right into my mouth.
I like smoked turkey bacon a lot.
Okay.
Beef bacon has a lot of fat.
Yeah, it does. You're welcome. It's good. Your brain needs that.
I mean, we like it. I just think I like, it's not like, I'm not like, I was never like, oh my God, I have to have bacon person, so.
Yeah, sorry. 10 times chlorine above recommended amounts of water. Yeah. Go crack open a water pipe and tell me that things are going well. Oh, it's bad. Everybody should have Berkey water filters. Pop-Tarts are not a food group. It's just the way it is.
Oh my gosh. Guys, stop eating Pop-Tarts. Quit eating freaking ramen, because it's bad for you.
Yeah, please.
People that eat it aren't listening.
As I yell it across
All right.
the door.
Our final story for the day before we go to our good news. Elon Musk reported Doge plan for a free tax filing app hits H&R Block and Intuit stock, meaning that the Department of Government Efficiency is actually going into place. The Department of Government Efficiency, aka Doge, buy Dogecoin. It's going up. It's climbing. One of the best coins, believe it. H&R Block and Intuit shares fell after a report said the Doge Commission is considering a free tax filing app. The Biden administration introduced an IRS tax filing pilot program in 2022. Analysts are divided on the impact of government tax preparation services for Intuit and H&R Block. Shares of tax filing providers H&R Block and Intuit dropped on Tuesday after a report from the Washington Post said that Elon Musk's Doge Commission is exploring a free mobile tax filing app. How about we just don't file taxes? How about we just don't pay taxes? Is that an option? Will that help with government efficiency? I don't know. According to the report, President-elect Donald Trump's Department of Government Efficiency, Doge, led by Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, discussed plans for creating a mobile app that would allow Americans to file their taxes for free. A post on X from the Doge account over the weekend highlighted how complex America's tax code has become, highlighting that the number of words in the U.S. tax code has surged nearly 1,000% since 1955. This must be simplified, the post said. In 1955, there were less than 1.5 million words in the U.S. tax code. Today, there are more than 16 million words. Because of this complexity, Americans collectively spend 6.5 billion hours annually preparing to file their taxes. This must be simplified. H&R Block generates nearly $4 billion in annual revenue from its tax prep services, while nearly a third of Intuit's revenue, about $5 billion, comes from TurboTax. This isn't the first time a government-based tax filing service has been weighed on Intuit and H&R Block shares. The Biden administration introduced the pilot program for the IRS to allow taxpayers to file online. Wall Street is mixed about the potential impacts of the government encroaching on tax prep businesses. Analyst at Jefferies wrote in a Tuesday note that the sell-off of Intuit stock was unwarranted because a tax filing app from the Doge Commission was unlikely to be a high priority in a long list of initiatives, adding that the IRS tax filing pilot program had little success. These guys are forgetting that they're literally, the people on the Doge Commission own internet app businesses. This is what they do. He will literally just task some nerds at Twitter to make this. I think it's possible. I do. And anything that cuts down government spending, government cost, and then our time preparing or participating with the government, I'm down for it.
All right, guys, I'm giving you just literally a couple of minutes to finish your orders.
$750. Send them $750. Say, hey, that's the best that we can do. Just like they do for anybody who's been hurt, and that's what FEMA does. And then, then they don't have money to send Ukraine long-range missiles. That brings us into nuclear war with Russia, who totally said before all this happened, hey, just don't do this and there won't be nuclear war. And then we did exactly what they said. And now they're mobilizing their nuclear war structure.
Listen, I'm going to say it with the rapper's words. Don't start no stuff.
Won't be no stuff.
Be no stuff.
Yeah, don't start none, won't be none, son. Oh my gosh. Bear Nation, how likely is an attack on the actual West Coast? Or is this affecting Ukraine, Europe's supply chain? So far, the chat has been at the 50-50 mark. We think we're at the 50-50 mark. I know that Pastor Joe Fox believes fervently that there will be an attack on New York and on Los Angeles. I know I've talked to him about that. He believes intensely that New York City will be nuked. That's what he said.
Movies, they always go for the most populated.
Yeah, dude,
areas.
It's all about the optics. It's all about the optics. A national sale tax of 3.5% would render the IRS unnecessary and raise tax revenues by 300%. Everyone would have been contributing to include drug dealers and hookers with zero tax shelters. Ooh, get 'em, Rupana. Get 'em. Did you say Tacoma Plains? Yes, I did say Tacoma Plains. Let me pull it up. Hold on. I got it here. I've got a meme here. Works perfectly for this. That's an Alex Jones reference for all you real ones out there. Got a meme here. Ah, yes. Russian airborne nuclear war control plane is circling Moscow.
Can you talk long enough for me to go to the restroom?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
A Russian Air Force airborne command post is currently circling northeast of Moscow. The aircraft with the ID RA-64529 is a Tu-214PU. Its function is similar to the USAF E-4B National Emergency Airborne Command Post. Beginning in 1979, the Air Force took delivery on a total of 4 E-4 designated aircraft and E-6B take charge and move out Tucomo command planes. This is Russia's Tucomo planes. These are their command planes. So take charge and move out. These are the planes that are flying in the air so that they're not on the ground getting affected by what's happening on the ground, that are commanding the battle space. This is happening at the same time that mobile nuclear missile trucks are deploying across Russia. Russia's truck-mounted intercontinental nuclear missile trucks are now deploying out into the field. Russian strategic missile forces' invisible retaliation systems are on duty. Russia's strategic missile forces are deploying advanced missile systems deep into the taiga. These stealthy old systems are said to be undetectable and capable of launching retaliatory strikes to any point on the globe within minutes. This comes a day after national media for Russia talked about the fact that they could destroy Britain with 3 missiles alone, and that every single EU major city is on the list to get some. This is past just saber rattling. This is way beyond saber rattling because they're putting their money where their mouth is. They're deploying the actual systems. They're currently mass producing bomb shelters to send to the front lines for not just their troops but also for citizens. This is a real thing. I know there's a P-3 Orion doing ASW patrols in the Gulf between Seattle and Vancouver Island at the moment, ... Yeah, I'm sure that has nothing to do with anything. I'm sure that's not going to have an effect. I used to be a Tucomo squadron in the Navy. This is not good. Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to point out, people, that this isn't like normal Wednesday stuff. These aren't resources that just mobilize. This isn't part of a drill. The only drill that's currently happening is U.S. SOCOM in Georgia is doing CBRN readiness training. What was it? Operation something serpent, danger serpent, something like that. So danger snake? Yeah, pass on the danger snake, dude. That's not good. Russian is all talk. Yeah, tell that to the literal thousands of dead people. Russia is not all talk. It would be horribly, horribly miscalculated to not just underrepresent, but underqualify the threats of an entire nation state with a huge nuclear arsenal that is capable of taking on NATO. While they are moving in troops from North Korea, while they are in active talks with China, who's going bankrupt, that needs the gold support that Russia has. Guys, pay attention. This is how World War III starts. Russia is all talk. No, it's not. No, it's not. There's good evidence to support that the conflict that Russia has been pushing hasn't even been their main fighting force, but rather has been conscripts and prisoners that they've pushed in subpar gear to the front lines as cannon fodder, while employing both missile systems and drone systems to wear down the Ukrainian morale and to wear down the Ukrainian forces themselves. This is what the intelligence is suggesting. Now, I know MSNBC and CNN and Fox News tell you other things, but that's just not the case. Do not underestimate Russia. Don't. There is a reason that they play at the level they play. There is a reason that the U.S. has been throwing the amount of money that it has. Yes, it is absolutely a money laundering program. It seems that way. It plays that way. It looks that way. Too many Ukrainians have gotten rich. But there's also a lot of support, weapons, logistics, and training that have gone that way that have still not made a dent in Russia. Shawnee Trail, Russia has submarines all up down the East Coast and people are stupid. I've actually heard that from multiple people. I don't have any information that solidifies that or confirms that, but I have heard that multiple times. This is why you have to have your preps in order. Your food, your water, your medical, your commo, your security, your sustainment plans, your community preparedness group, your MAG, your mutual assistance group, whatever it is. You guys gotta get your stuff in order. It really is important. This matters. It is not a joke. It's just not a joke. What is a good channel way to keep up on what's really happening going forward? So you have the Bear Show, right? Bear Independent. You have Monkey Works. Some of Hal Turner's stuff is good. Some of it's not. Obviously, you have the Refuge Report. And then you got to do your own research. You really got to start diving in and look for the bigger picture. Sometimes non-biased. Non-biased. Just like, hey, what is actually happening? Where is the money going? Where's the money going? And what does the change of power look like? We have never been this close to planet annihilation ever. You're correct. Obvious. Hold on. Just ordered. Thank you, Bob. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know, Gypsy Roots. Maybe. Maybe they could. S2 Underground, that's a great point for news. The Wire from S2 Underground, S2 Alpha, or S2 Actual. Great. Monkeyworks is pretty sketchy. Need to verify before amplifying his content. When I say Monkeyworks, I mean the fact that he's tracking legitimate flight patterns. Don't listen to all of his conclusions. Take everybody's conclusions with a grain of salt, knowing that it's coming from their own filter, but look at the information that's presented and form intelligence off of it.
That's such a good point. Shofar Acre said, if faith saved men in a furnace, what can it do for you when nukes go off? Mountains can be moved with the faith the size of a mustard seed.
That's a blessed word,
Yeah,
Shofar
that's so
Acres.
good.
That's a blessed word. S2 Underground is my jam. Yeah, S2 Underground is awesome. All right. So,
are we ready?
I got my good news story.
Okay.
Guys, this is your last chance as I share the good news story. If you want to get into the giveaway, $99 or more, get you entered in. You get a burn bucket. You can get the KIO3. You can also get a Ranger Medic handbook. 5 lucky winners of who is bought $99 or more during the stream is going to win. All right. With that, go over refugemedical.com. You can go to the sale tab. We put a bunch of stuff on sale today as we start to diminish our inventory before end of year for tax purposes. So you can take advantage of that while we try to not get taxed so hard by Uncle Sam. And we will hop into the good news for the day. A stranger's heartwarming act of kindness for a blind commuter. In a moment that reminds us of the power of simple acts of kindness, a passenger on a cold day at London's King Cross station selflessly gave up his own shoe to help. The incident unfolded when a blind man, assisted by the transpo staff, accidentally tripped while boarding the train. Although kind commuters quickly helped him find a seat, he soon realized that one of his shoes had slipped between the platform and the train. As the train departed before anyone could alert the driver, the man became visibly distressed, realizing he was left with only one shoe. That's when an extraordinary commuter stepped in, without hesitation. The man removed one of his own shoes and handed it to the blind man, ensuring he was more comfortable for the rest of his journey. This generous stranger, who asked for no thanks or recognition, exited the station barefoot in the biting cold to find himself another pair of shoes. A fellow passenger shared the story on social media, calling the man an absolute hero and expressing awe at the stranger's selflessness. I want to share this with other people and let them know that there are good people in the world. This world is a good place. We all just need to do our bit. That's awesome, man. Give him the shoes off of his very own feet. That is awesome. Shoes off his very own feet. Clothe and feed the needy. Clothe and feed the needy. That's what Christ said to do. That's precious. That is precious. Awesome. Yeah, I love good news like that because it actually helps kind of keep perspective, you know. Sometimes people are just thinking about their shoes, you know, and we should pay attention to what's happening geopolitically. We should pay attention to what's happening nationally in our politics cycle. We should pay attention to what's happening in our local politics. But we also should pay attention to the person that's right next to us that needs some flipping shoes, dude. So that matters. That really does. What's up, Ruben? Need more good news making order. Yes, absolutely. And remember, you can make that good news. You can do that next good thing. And I would say this, don't do it to just make news. Don't do it so that people look at you. Don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Give graciously, unexpecting of anything, knowing that your Father who's in heaven sees you. Your Father sees you and loves when you give with a joyful heart. He delights in those who give with a joyful heart. So give. Give joyously because the Lord loves it, man. That's what we're supposed to do. Be the hands and feet of Messiah, who not just gave, but gave his life for you so that you would have life and life abundantly. Peace and peace abundantly. Perfect peace that surpasses all understanding. Why? Because he loves you. He desires to be in right relationship with you. He desires to be in fellowship with you, in communion with you. And you can do that. You have that opportunity. And it is just that. It's a blessed opportunity. And I would say it's the reason you were created, was to fellowship with your Most High Messiah, Jesus the Christ, Yeshua the Messiah, who loves you, who suffered and died for you. Don't forget that. Don't forget that in this crazy world with so much nonsense going on. Do not forget that. Live in Him. Live in the peace. Seriously. All right, Lauren.
Hold on. While I went, somebody else got in, so good job getting it last second. All right, are we ready, guys?
We're ready. We're ready. Let's do this drawing.
Okay.
Let's do this
I'm
drawing.
refreshing last time. I'm refreshing.
We're going to refresh one more time. Guys, smash the like button.
Okay,
Thank you so much for your support through the stream. It's been awesome.
Share. Here we go. Continue. We're going to call this the Burn Bucket giveaway.
Another reason to wear wool socks in case you lose your shoes. That's a great point, Stray Kitten. Hey, Bob, are you Team Crunchy or Team Creamy? I like both. I prefer a crunchy, but I also was eating creamy peanut butter. Super happy about it the other night. So, I can be all things to all people. Like Paul says, when I'm with the Romans, I like the Romans. When I was with the Jews, I was like the Jews. When I was with the creamy, I was eating creamy. When I was with the crunchy, I was eating crunchy. You know? I'll have to pray on it. I'll have to pray on it. We'll see what team needs me. How about that?
Does it look like that? Well, please hold.
I don't know. Somebody right now is like,
go.
you flip-flopper, you gotta pick. You gotta decide a team. I don't. I can vote for all people. I do.
It takes a second for me to generate the wheel and get it on here so y'all can actually see it. And for some reason, it's cutting off the bottom part of the wheel, but just know it's there. It's gonna tell us who won anyway.
Guys, while we're waiting for Lauren to get this up, in the chat, put your favorite Refuge kit. Your favorite Refuge kit. While she's getting this spun up, literally, put in the chat, what is your favorite Refuge first aid kit? You can put why too. That's good too. But I want to know. I want to see what the chat loves. So let's see. What is your favorite Refuge kit? I'm really interested to see what people are loving from Refuge right now. What is everybody vibing on, as the kids say? They say that, right? It's a vibe.
Are you guys ready?
Hold on. We're waiting. Now we're waiting for everybody to put this in there.
Okay.
Adventure kit, slick kit, red bear fac, 3.0 adventure kit, bear fac. Can't afford my favorite, the stomp bag. Favorite is SOB, slick kit, bear fac, SOB, bear fac, SOB, wound care bucket, and then bear fac. The ankle kit. I have an SOB and a fanny pack. Love it. Slick kit. The answer is it just depends. SOB, I carry it hunting. The bear fac 3.0. Bear fac's kind of taking the cake here. Adventure. All the above. Ankle kit. Bear fac. I have 8. Heck yeah, dude. Bear fac, belt kit, desk kit, adventure kit, SOB. Such a good amount of capability for the size. I agree. The SOB is dope. Slick kit, belt kit, adventure, but bare min is what I recommend to people just getting started. That's smart, Julia. Smart. SOB. Love the bare min. Ankle kit. I always have it on. Bear fac and canned ham. I don't eat ham. Ham bad. Bear fac. Man, dude, the bear fac is kicking butt and taking names. Slick kit, ease of carry. Adventure kit, it's sight on the floor of my truck for accidents, etc. Heck yeah. BPK in every glove box. Smart. Super smart. I love it. Don't forget, guys, we're giving away cash back on all of the social media platforms right now to whoever shares the most posts of Refuge on social media. I think the winner gets $100.
Okay, so the way it works, and guys, you have to tag me because you have to realize I am the one that's going through and finding who has shared the most. But if you don't tag me, all it shows me is, 47 people shared this, and I have no idea who it was.
Yep.
You have to tag at Refuge Medical, #BearNation. So the way it works, every single week on Facebook, whoever shares our stuff the most, whoever helps other people find out about our stuff, number 1 gets $100. Second place gets $30. Third place gets $20. On Instagram, the same thing. So you could win both.
Yep.
And you got $300 for the week in the store.
No big deal.
That's a bear fact.
That's a literal bear fact.
So help us spread the word. Make sure you tag so you don't like discount yourself and then you don't win. Okay.
Yep, for sure. Somebody asked, what do you carry, Bug Out Bob? I carry one of two things. My EDC is usually a slick kit with a soft tee tourniquet in the front pocket. So I love the slick kit with the soft tee, or I carry the ankle kit. Those are two of the first aid kits I literally are always on me. It's just, I love those kits. And then I also have like a big medic bag that I built out for when I'm on the job in the truck. So much very good now. All right, let's do it.
Okay, well, I just messed it up, so just please hold.
I get weird looks from my ankle kit, but I love it. I wear my ankle kit on the outside of my G3 pants. I'm doing SWAT stuff.
Now you can see all of the names. Okay. All right.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go. Our first winner. What is this for?
Let's do the first winner for a Ranger Medic Handbook.
All right, ready? First winner, Ranger Handbook.
Ranger Medic Handbook.
The winner is Rick Swink. Hey, we know that guy.
Rick Swink. Nice.
Awesome.
I love that Rick won. That's awesome, dude. Yes, I am. All right, next.
Next winner
Is going to be another Ranger Medic Handbook.
I forgot. I didn't remove his name on accident, so. Thaddeus Van Zant.
Thaddeus Van Zant. Thad.
Hopefully I spelled your name correctly. I'm going to go ahead and remove that.
What an awesome
I
name.
know. I was thinking that as I was typing. I was like, dang.
Big bucks, no whammies. Thad won a Ranger Medic Handbook. That's freaking awesome, bro. Next, we're going to do the KIO3. Boom. For all of your thyroid needs.
All right, here we go. KIO3 is going to Christopher Bagnick.
Christopher Bagnick. Christopher
Bagnick.
I hope you never have to use this. Because
Safeties.
that would suck, but I'm glad that you'll have it just in case. Also, guys, if you need to get KIO3 because of what's going on right now, we have it in the shop for you. Or if you're interested in grabbing a burn bucket, we have them in the shop for you. So that way, if you don't win and you still want to go get this gear, so that way you're prepared with everything that's going on geopolitically right now, I totally understand. We have made sure that we have them in stock for you so you can go and grab them after this.
All right, here we go. Next. What
Ranger
is this
Medic
for?
Handbook.
Ranger Medic Handbook. Here we go. It's going to. Oh,
Yeah.
Alden Smith.
Alden Smith. I love Alden. He's awesome. Alden Smith. Bow, 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 bow. He seems like a nice guy. I read a name like Alden Smith. I'm like, I bet you that guy's nice. I bet you he's
All right,
cool.
guys. Here we go. This is for the cat's pajamas.
The whole thing. The burn bucket. Buckets that burn. Here we go. Here we go.
Set.
Mama needs a new car.
Spinning, 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 spinning. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
It is
Ooh, Christina Congers. Get the burn
Christina
bucket.
Congers. Boom! They said it couldn't be done. They said that she couldn't win. She did it. She did it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is so dang cool. Congratulations to all the winners. It's freaking awesome, man. I just want to make sure I spell that right. C-O-N-G-O. Rock and roll. Guys, thank you so much for winning, or for playing. It's a cool way to get more first aid gear into people's hands. Like, obviously, we have to do it so that way people purchase in first. We don't want to just, like, open up the live stream and be like, and anybody on the live stream is going to win. Because then it's like, man, there's not a ton of value in that. It just becomes kind of like fake. And we don't like that. We try to do products as they relate to the current times that we're in. If you want to go grab a burn bucket, we do have them in stock. If you want to go grab some KIO3, we do have them in stock. I would go quickly, honestly, because with this news going out, it's probably not going to last very long. But We'll try to keep it in stock as long as we can. I believe we're getting the Ranger Medic Handbook in stock soon if it's not in stock now. So for those of you who wanted one that did not win one, be on the lookout for that. Very, very cool. Shout out to everybody in the chat. You're freaking awesome. Share the show with individuals that need to see this information. We went over a lot of pertinent stuff here. A lot of pertinent stuff. So share the stream. Send it to your mom. Send it to your cat. Let them know that we love them. And above all things, remember that Yeshua is Messiah. Christ is Lord. He's King of Kings. He is sovereign. He's got you. Repent. Go back to the King and rest in Him. And carry an effing tourniquet. We'll see you guys next time. We love you. Shalom.
Just keep talking because Lauren wasn't ready.
Lauren wasn't ready.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.